In the crypto lounge with a chart so wild, we're dropping beats and rhymes and we're not for mile. From Bitcoin to Ethereum, we're breaking it down. In the crypto lounge where the markets have a bound. Crypto lounge, daily live stream, market analysis, breaking news, it's a dream. We're dropping knowledge, we're dropping bars. In the crypto lounge where the beats are hard. From NFTs to DeFi, we're keeping it real. We're dropping knowledge and we're making it feel. From bull to bear, we're always on the grind. In the crypto lounge where the market's never blind. Crypto lounge, where the toll lounge, where the market's never blind. Crypto lounge, daily live stream, market analysis, breaking news, it's a dream. We're dropping knowledge, we're dropping bars. In the crypto lounge where the beats are hard. We're dropping knowledge, we're dropping rhymes. In the crypto lounge where the future shines.
All right. Well, we got welcome to the show, guys. We have man, I'm kind of tongue tied, and there's some a contagion that's going through the space right now. And we're going to talk about it. We're talking about the DeFi hack. Now, again, this is not a product issue. This is a management issue, especially with the stream finance. We're going to dive into that pretty deep. There's a contagion factor to it as well, because there's several link protocols that are being affected by this as well. One that I like a lot. But again, this is a management issue, and we do have alterations we're going to talk about when it comes to the Clarity Act as well, because things are changing there too. LMFG, welcome to the show, brother. Can you hear me? See if we got good audio.
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Welcome to the show, brother. Good to see you, man. So how we doing, brother? I have to check with you, make sure everything is okay. I know you're a little wet a couple of days ago around your neck of the woods. How's the weather, man?
Yeah, it's nice, but getting chilly.
Yeah, it is, man.
Down to those 40s and hit 30s the other night. That's chilly for down here.
Yeah, it is, man. It's around that time, and I think we're gonna have a real winter this year. At least around my neck of the woods, we're gonna have a real winter. It's not gonna be an Indian winter, Indian summer, as they call it. LMFG. As we get into the show, obviously we're gonna talk about the stream finance. These DeFi hacks, and again, the Senate version of the Clarity Act, a little different. We already knew that was going to happen, but and welcome to the guys coming in and to the show. Welcome to you guys. Hope you guys are doing great. We got a lot to get into today. We're going to talk about privacy tokens too, and how they are actually booming. I have a top 12 list with ratings. We're going to talk about that as well, and I want to get your take on these privacy booms too. But when it comes to this DeFi situation, it wasn't a hack, right? It was not a hack. It was a management issue and what they were doing in stream finance. There are a lot of these protocols and these devs are doing the same damn thing. And we're going to talk about it, which is producing a contagion effect here. That's affecting the space, along with the Wintermute Binance feud right there that may result in a massive lawsuit as well. What you take, man, on what's going on. It's pretty freaky, hitting the market pretty hard.
Yeah, I just saw that, and they just offered them a bounty, a 20% bounty if they get caught by Wednesday.
Damn,
yeah, it's like $100 million they grabbed, right?
Really? Yeah. Well, no, it's over that. You know, it's crazy. You're talking about the stream, right? That's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna get into that. It's again, a lot of people are like, DeFi is good. DeFi is not safe. No, it wasn't the product. It wasn't the actual ecosystem. It was management. What they were doing, the practices, and what they were doing collateral. That's what the problem was. And that's a shared venture. A lot of devs are doing this to overbloat TVL, that's what brings people in, right? Especially with the actual tokens that are associated with these platforms. This is why they're growing. And then these inflated actual yields, 15%, 20%. That's unsustainable, right? So we'll get into it. It's pretty nasty, man. Today's news is crazy too. We'll talk about the ETF up front. And I always told you guys, this was the Bitcoin floor. And once the ETF Once those floors start to lower themselves, once that recedes, that's when you're going to get some major movement in Bitcoin. And this is what you're seeing. ETFs, they are moving the wrong direction, essentially. We'll talk about that. Zcash, big time privacy movement. It's just not Zcash. You have Starknet that has a really high rating, as well as ZK-Sync. We'll talk about all of them. Privacy tokens and coins are going to be moving very, very abruptly, very aggressively going into 2026, 2027. And it has a lot to do with whale movement as well. And I'll say that slowly because I am caffeined up. Whale movement. A lot of whales are using these protocols. And you had Arthur Hayes and Naval, they were, shilling Zcash. But there's substance there. And we'll talk about the substance with Zcash. I did a short on it too. I hope you guys enjoy that. You have China making a big move into crypto. China was doing this a year ago, actually, because they got into it with the Hong Kong movement. You have China now opening up to Bitcoin mining once again. Russia as well. Trump is saying we need to move even more quicker with the legislation. And this is what you're seeing. I don't think we're going to get it, LMFG, by December. What's your take? They're saying they're going to get this Clarity Act signed before the turn of the year. I don't think so, because what I'm seeing with the House version and the Senate version, there's pretty big differences with AML, KYC, a lot of differences when it comes to stablecoin regulation. It doesn't align to what the House is doing. And then the House version left out a lot of stuff, bro, that I didn't know about, that they just basically passed over to the Senate to figure out. We'll get into those nuances. But as far as, the CFTC and the SEC, their actual responsibilities, it's pretty split down the middle. What's your take?
Yeah, I'm just hoping it gets passed, guys. It's crazy if it doesn't. It's gonna hurt. And like I said, whatever they pass, it's gonna get tweaked over the next year or two. So they're just kicking the can down the road. And I'm telling you, it's probably the banks. You see this, we're down at 102.7 with Bitcoin. They want to bring it down, and they're going to dive in. They're scaring all the retail out.
Hey, you think it's a flush out?
Especially, imagine the guys that just bought in the newbies at $1.20.
Oh my God. Woo, Michael Saylor.
Hell, I'm out of here. They're done.
Yeah. You got a lot. The minnows. Yeah.
It's a shame. This is your DCA time to me. This technology is the future, 100%.
Yeah.
So anything that's around in 5-10 years from now, wow, it's going to be nice.
No doubt, man.
Let's hope they patch this thing before Thanksgiving.
I want to be happy, man. I want to be very optimistic. I want to be, bullish, but I don't think they're going to get it done, bro. I mean, I really don't. You know how the sausage making, they want to put some pork into it, right? You know how Congress works. But it's a different ballgame right now, but, I don't know. Over $1 billion worth of liquidations, guys. This is what we're looking at. Another $1 billion worth of liquidations. And there was a platform that introduced 200x leverage a couple of days ago. This is getting a little out of hand. And I think they're probably going to be regulating these platforms pretty soon too, with this outrageous leverage. And a lot of people are like, it's no problem. I think it is. This affects the market. So, it's crazy. Let's go and get into the market, actually, because I gotta tell you, man, this is getting a little wacky. LMFG is getting a little wacky, man. As we move to the market 102, you did state that for the Bitcoin price, and there's a lot going on with Bitcoin. In particular, the ETFs are moving, and we'll get into the ETF movement. Let's get some numbers, because a lot of people are like, why is Bitcoin bleeding? Why are the ETFs actually starting to bleed? And by the way, this October broke records. I think it's been 6 years since we had a negative October. This was a record breaker, and a lot of people were like, October this, October that's going to be October, Mike. You don't know what you're talking about. We're in a bull market, Mike. You don't know what you're talking about. Stop it. I don't know. I think Jim Cramer actually came out and officially said we're in a bear market. I think he's late on that. But I've been screaming bear market since February. I knew it was going to happen. Even though we had ETF approvals, even though we had the halving, Litecoin, Bitcoin halving, Zcash had its halving too recently. It didn't matter. Look at where we're at now. If we didn't have the ETFs, Bitcoin would probably be $69,000 after LMFG. I think it'll be around $69,000 if it wasn't for the ETFs. Monday's outflows were crazy, and this is what we're going to be talking about here. Now, spot Bitcoin ETF opened up at a negative $186 million. They're just talking about net redemptions here on the 3rd of November. We're talking about yesterday. This is when this started, stretching a 4-session drain to roughly $1.34 billion since October the 29th. So LMFG, that's a very short window of outflow, which is pretty dramatic because we're over $1 billion within that short window. And we'll get into the liquidations here in a little bit because that's pretty crazy too. But what's your take on that? That's a very short window of outflow, bro. And this is not even factoring in the actual stream finance DeFi situation, which was not a hack. Everybody said that was a hack. It was not a hack. LMFG, this run on the ETFs is very significant, bro. Going into December. Already pretty bearish. This is why Jim Cram is coming out. It's bearish, guys. What's your take, man? Is this a red flag for you? Because these are the ETFs. This is the floor for Bitcoin.
I think this is, we all wanted all the institutional guys to come in, and I think it's them. And they're trying to scare the hell out of everybody, get this as low as they can. And I think when it goes, it's gonna go hard. Yeah. It's one of those crazy ass straight up 2-day candles, and you're gonna see 25 grand come back into it. Yeah, that's what I'm expecting. We'll see. And it's gonna be them that's gonna do it.
Yeah, it's
whales,
pretty dramatic. Yeah.
We'll see, man. Again, you got to just say, check this out in 5-10 years from now. This is the future of this technology. So it'll happen. It's just going to take a little longer than we thought.
Yeah, they're really, Jesus. JR says, I think this is orchestrated. I think, let's say about 25% of it, I think a lot of this is organic, especially with this DeFi situation with stream finance. You have to couple that in. You have the Wintermute and Binance feud going on. We'll get into those statements from the Wintermute CEO. He has some interesting things. I'm going to get your take too on that, LMFG. We're going to look at that video, and he says some interesting things about what was going on with Binance during this time. And we've seen the X fallout, right along, and the MEXC fallout was crazy too. They finally unfroze that wallet that had millions of dollars. Now let's get into this ETF situation, because this run shows how quickly flows can swing when a single mega issuer turns into a seller. Just like you said, when this ETF wave hits the wrong direction, it is swift and it's very aggressive. And a lot of this was fear-based, guys. A lot of this is just, like LMFG said and JR said, a lot of this is orchestrated as well. But when these orchestrated events with these big institutions start swinging negatively, it's not pretty. You see all the red on the bottom of the screen? You see the bearish meter? It's at 1.0. I've never seen my meter this low before. People are running for the hills. Now, data from the far side shows Monday's outflow were effectively concentrated at IBIT, guys. Now, with the peers essentially flat following last week's sequence of negative $470 million. This is registered on October the 29th. October the 30th registered $488 negative million of outflow. And then we rolled into the last day, which was Halloween, which capped it off at around $200 million worth of outflow. And that's in that the IBIT fund there. So, Jesus, what are we doing? This is going the wrong direction, guys. This is going the wrong direction. So as we look at Bitcoin in this 24-hour swing here, pretty dramatic, down almost 4%. Now, when you're looking at a Bitcoin price, when you're looking at this swing, 24-hour swing at almost 4% reduction across the board, this is significant, LMFG. When Bitcoin moves like this, the alt swing even heavier, and I'm talking double digits as we look at Ethereum down almost 16%, pushing $3,400, guys. XRP down almost 15%. All right, almost down to $2.20. All right, across the board, we're talking about $135 billion market cap project here. Major swings. Bruce Leak, it says it's been suppressed right now, but eventually we'll have a slingshot effect. Buy the dips and wait for the release. LMFG, what's your take on that? I like that take, Bruce. He says we're going to have that slingshot effect.
Yeah, I believe that's definitely going to happen. And like I said, it's going to be the big boys, the whales coming in. And boom, they're going to try to get this thing as low as they can. From my understanding, there's tons of buy orders in at 100 grand. I haven't looked. I read something.
That's interesting. Those are some very robust buy orders, guys. Binance is under $1,000 now. Listen, guys, this thing was soaring. I think it was really close to $1,200. I want to zoom in on this. Down across the board, almost 20% down for Binance. Now, again, a lot of these alts were linked to this stream finance, and I'm talking in particular, they're decentralized finance hubs and applications that were embedded in these particular blockchain ecosystems. They were affected. That's the contagion effect. We're about to get to the stream finance DeFi kerfuffle because it's nasty what those devs were doing. In that practice, what they were doing, all right, a lot of devs are doing that in their decentralized finance applications in their ecosystems. They're doing this is standard practice. We're going to get into it.
Change that to 1 week.
Let's see what we got here. Oh shit! Why did you do that? See, I don't. You know, I like to zoom out, but I don't want to scare everybody, bro. I don't want to scare. I didn't want to scare everybody. I try to keep it in a 24-hour period, but sometimes you do have to zoom out. And I have to tell you, this is almost 20%, guys, on a 1 week situation. This is how bad this is going.
If you don't like to see that, don't look at it on your cell phone.
It's like Halloween all over again. A lot of blood. I'm gonna keep it on the week trajectory here, but guys, 29%. I mean, 18% on the week here. Even when you really zoom in and get a microscopic view, like I call the 24-hour view. Some people like the hour view. I don't use the hour. If you're dealing with meme coins, yeah, you want to look and zoom in an hour. But when you're looking at these utility tokens, which by the way, the Senate version of the Clarity Act is actually classifying decentralized finance tokens, utility tokens, and the security contracts that they're associated with within these embedded ecosystems. We're talking DeFi. Securities, guys. Securities. What do you think about that? We're going to get into that. That's your Senate version. We are not in Kansas anymore. This is going to be a different ball game going into the next 5 years. You devs are on watch. And I know a lot of these devs are like, we're out of here. We can't comply with that. We're not going to KYC. We're not going to implant AML. We're talking banking laws. They're basically doing the same thing that Gary Gensler was going to do. Copying and pasting old laws into the space. This is what's happening. Paul Atkins is not doing anything different. We'll get into it. Because the Senate version is very, very familiar. Very familiar. So crypto asset providers, there's a little bit of MiCA coming into the fold too as well. That EU regulation, LMFG, crypto service providers, digital asset service providers. That's what they're labeling it. That's the label. You're going to have to comply as a dev if you are transmitting money, if you are servicing the crypto investor, giving them advice, giving them access to centralized finance. If you are deploying a swap, you are a digital asset service provider. You have to comply to these laws. You have to KYC. You have to add and offer a level of investor protection that's a whole lot more than what they're doing now. This is very, very interesting what's happening here. This is going to squeeze the space. And I'm talking development when it comes to DeFi. It's going to make it a whole lot more legit and more safe for us as well. But you're going to see a lot of devs disappear, guys. You're going to see a lot of decentralized finance applications stop running. A lot of, blockchain ecosystems are going to cease to exist. Either they're going to have to recalibrate or they're going to run. It's the great purge. And I love it because it makes the space more legitimate and more space, and more safe. Essentially, what's your take, LMFG, on that as we move on?
Yeah, I was just reading a little too. WAS, to call on it, WAAS, Wallet as a Service. I forget what company it was. Things are going to happen, man. It's just going to, again, it's going to take time. That's all. Yeah,
it is happening fast, brother. Let's see here. JR, you said crypto has changed institutionally. Oh, crypto has changed. Institutional investors are heavily involved in this cycle. Absolutely. They systematically destroy the economy on purpose. Absolutely. The status quo has to stay the same. They cannot control the nation. Absolutely. LMFG. That was a good take, man. Do you align with that? Because I believe they are coming in because the banks are dead. The banks are screwed, brother. So they're going to have to change DeFi to fit their needs. And they don't want us to actually continue to have yield as well. They want the yield. What's your take on what JR said? JR, spot on, brother. Spot on, man. I think you hit it on the nail. Let's go ahead and get into more of the BNB situation. So Web3 giant, we do have Wintermute. We're going to segue to this. We have Wintermute that's going to be filing a lawsuit against Binance. And let's go ahead and swing to this because I want you guys to get a good airfield into what's going on into this Wintermute situation and what we have here. This is very interesting. Now, what you have here is a post, and we have a video. This is going to be the actual CEO of Wintermute. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, so I'm not even going to go there. I'm going to give the caption, and we're going to listen to what he said Binance is actually doing now. Rumors are swirling that Wintermute, one of the world's largest crypto market makers, is preparing to sue Binance over losses over the October the 10th crash, and could be the reason for today's Bitcoin price action. Now, I don't think we know what that is, all right? But this has a little sprinkle of this is making it a little bit worse. Now, they're calling it a flash crash. 600 billion wiped out. You remember that back in October, guys, early October. This triggered $1.4 million in forced liquidations, and marketing. And this marked the largest single day liquidation event in crypto history. You guys remember this. Now, the CEO of Wintermute, which took a lot of heat, guys, says that the firm was auto deleveraged at completely ridiculous prices, unquote, on the Binance and other exchanges as well, but they're particularly blaming Binance, right? Let's continue. Binance has acknowledged systems overload and massive ADL triggers, but denied any internal errors during the actual kerfuffle. Now, it spent $188 million from its insurance fund and refunded $283 million from the Oracle DPEG as well, including ADL losses. So Binance is like, yeah, it really wasn't our fault. This is organic. And we actually made whole. We actually refunded and made people whole. So we're good. Not so quick. Now, Wintermute tracked a lot of the wallets, guys, that were dropped. And we're talking $637 million, man. Negative 12% after that crash. Now, this video below is going to actually be the CEO. And he's going to tell you how they got ADL'd, essentially, on Binance and his predictions of a lawsuit and challenges from trading firms. I think they're going to lead this class action against Binance. This could bring Binance down, guys. Let's go ahead and get into this.
So starting with ADL, effectively it's supposed to be a matter of last resort. So like generally, okay, you enter in the perp position, like at some point you run out of margin, you are going to get liquidated. So that's kind of normal. And usually the way exchanges do it, they just liquidate you on their own platform. If they cannot do it, they're supposed to, well, basically the insurance fund is supposed to take a hit. And the ADL was like never invoked for, I don't know, years, I think, like on most of the platforms. Simply because like it was never that drastic. But ADL is supposed to be the matter of the very, very last resort. And that, I think, is where we will see a lot of, well, basically challenges from a lot of trading firms to a lot of exchanges in the coming days and maybe weeks. Because I can tell you, like for us, for example, some of the ADL fills we got were very strange. So it just didn't make sense for us. Like there were like some perpetual positions where we got ADL, like on Binance and some other platforms. And like, okay, it's fine to get ADL if you can hedge, but also like our challenge was like sometimes you'd get ADL to a completely ridiculous price. It just didn't make any sense. Like the most ridiculous case, I think it was, I don't know, price we got ADL was, let's say $1 and we got ADL at $5 and the thing was called trading at $1. So and then you just don't even have a chance to hedge basically anywhere. So you're just stuck with a loss right away.
So a lot of people are saying that the CEO is crying wolf, right? A lot of the comments, a lot of people thought this was a hack. It wasn't a hack, right? And Binance is claiming that this was just organic. It was just unfortunate. OG artist says no crying in the casino. LMFG. They're saying these guys are just being crybabies. They took a loss, take a loss, and shake it off. This is part of the game, right? Martin Film says, take your money out of the exchange right now. Go into self-custody. By the way, the Senate and the House, they're pretty much together when it comes to self-custody. They're going to be protecting that, which I want to hand clap that, because I was kind of worried about our self-custody, but that is going to be protected. LMFG. Both sides of the aisle are like, they actually like that part when it comes to crypto, the self-custody. I thought they were going to harpoon that, but that's going to be protected. Russell.avac says, can I get in on this lawsuit? What'd you take, man? Do you think they're just crying? You think they don't want to take this hit? They play the game, and they're one of the biggest market makers. We used to talk about this a lot, about these market makers being regulated. Some have already shut down. What you take, bro? Is this just much to do about nothing? Or this class action, which I think is going to go for, will it be dropped? I don't know, bro. There's a lot of congressmen and senators that really do not like CZ, especially with the pardon he received. We'll get to Elizabeth Warren. She put out the receipts. That's getting very interesting. But the back and forth with CZ and Elizabeth Warren, she just dropped receipts. So we'll get to that. We'll read that. What's your take, bro? Are they just being crybabies? What's up, Jay?
Yeah, you're in it. You're playing the game. You know what you're up against if you're putting that kind of monies out on this.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Class action, I don't think it'll get anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're probably right.
You got to spend a lot of money to take this to court.
Well, they got a lot of money. That's for damn sure. They got a lot of money, and they could definitely do that. Meanwhile, we have $930.07 for the Binance price point, down 18% on the week. I remember when this thing was $200, borderline $199 per coin. CZ was going to jail at the point in time. Everybody thought this thing was crashing. This thing is ballooned all the way past $1,100. LMFG has performed quite well, even during the red. Now it's taken a hit, actually, and so we'll see how this goes. I think it's going to be fine. There's nothing wrong with the actual platform. But the particular exchange, though, there's some issues there. They're going to go on with this lawsuit, so we'll see. That trickle effect did affect the market, but I think this hack, well, not the hack, but the stream finance thing is a major contagion. Now, Solana 158, Solana backtracked a lot, LMFG, almost down 6%, 24-hour period. We're talking about 20% down on the week. My God, we were thinking this thing was going to go to $250. But we got hit. Now, this is not the fault of Solana. Now, we had the Western Union Finance partnership there, which they paid for the pilot over $30 million. LMFG. Is this legit? A lot of people are saying this is standard practice to pay people to come use your product. Okay, all right, I'll give them that. You do see that in the real world. You do see a lot of municipalities, a lot of counties and states that give incentives for people to come and build on their industrial parks. I get it. That happens in the real world. But this was still kind of strange. And we had a lot of hiccups. We had a lot of chain hiccups recently, bro. I don't know if you saw that. A lot of Solana chain, not halts, but hiccups and congestion. They still have this problem. So I will present this to you. Western Union, the payment situation, RWAs, do we have a problem here? Is this chain going to be able to perform?
Yeah, I don't know. And what you're just saying right there, to pay to use our systems, that I don't see. I mean, yeah. I don't get me wrong. I've had Cisco and Northern and NET come in, yeah, and they all gave us routers. And we ran all three of them to see which ones can handle all the mainframe traffic we had, and we didn't pay for those. You know,
Right,
we did
right.
finally sign with Cisco, but NET and Northern just came and took their equipment back a year later, you know. And
Yeah.
by then, that equipment was already, there was already 2 new versions out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can't see paying to do that. So
Yeah, absolutely.
That's really bogus to me. I don't like it.
It's a bad look, but they're saying it's standard. What are you talking about, Mike? It's okay. It's all right. This is standard practice. There's nothing to see here. Everything is okay, Michael. This is what I've been told. Nothing to see. It's okay. Everybody does it. I don't know, but I'll tell you this: if you are inviting people, you better damn sure make your actual product, stable. Make sure that it's going to perform. You know, if I'm going to open an amusement park and I'm going to invite the whole town to it, I'm going to make sure my rides are secure. That's the best way I can explain that. I'm going to make sure my roller coaster has all the bolts and the screws very tight, right? Because I don't want my patrons to go flying off the top of the thing. That's lawsuits. That's bad publicity. Okay. This is the way I see it. So it may be a horrible analogy. $157 though. If you bought when it was $10, what was the all-time low on this, man? It's crazy. I got to go back a year. So 96. If you bought when it was $96, you're good, right? It's kind of like the Zcash thing. If you bought that when it was $30, you're good. You're looking like a freaking genius. So you're not really worried about these hiccups at this point in time. Now, if you bought a month ago, you're like, Jesus Christ, what am I doing? It's okay. I think this is going to be an all right situation, but I believe you want to make sure everything that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. You want to make sure this thing is ready for prime time, and this is what Chainlink did. They made sure the product was ready. They did a lot of stress testing with Chainlink before they actually started really inviting banks and inviting protocols to use and ecosystems to use their product. I think, and if I'm wrong, let me know, LMFG. I think that's the way to do it, brother. That's the way to do it. Make sure your product is ready to go before you invite usership, right? And I would argue before you even ask me for my money as an investor, make sure the product is fucking deployed. But maybe I'm asking too much. Am I asking too much to get fully deployed product, fully tested product before you even ask for or even deploy a pre-sale? Is that too much? Maybe it is. I don't know. What you take, brother? Am I asking too much? I don't know. Maybe I am. I don't know. Tron.
Nah, not at all.
You think so? You think that's okay? I think it's okay.
Yes.
Show me some product. Show me something fully built. Can you do that? I'll invest. It's like telling me you're gonna give me I'll digress from that. Jay says one last pump. We might see. Yeah, you may see a dead cat bounce. But at this point, how many times are you going to bounce this cat off the ground? How many lives? What are we at? 8 lives now for that cat? I don't know if that cat has any more lives. JR says the market will probably stay low, maybe even drop more times before November the 22nd. You're probably right. JR, you're probably right. BTC on a 6-month chart sitting on support. Yeah. That 100K support line, man. We go below 100K and it's going to be down the hill. 80% crash, Jay. Wow. LMFG. Jay says he's predicting an 80% crash, bro. You're killing me, brother. Yikes. LMFG.
Crazy.
Bro, can you imagine the psychological impact? And Jay, you're probably right. You're probably right. Because when this Clarity Act, when everybody gets a load of the Senate version, and if that is passed, it's going to scare a lot of people out. I'm talking developers-wise. They're not going to be able to comply. It's not that they can't. They're just not going to comply with that. Right? So he's saying huge pump in the incoming defense stocks. War, baby. War. I'm going to go ahead and give you that conspiracy thing right there. You're sounding like a conspiracy theorist there, brother. So you're saying metal, war. And then JR says XRP is going to bomb. Hey, listen, Jay has a point, LMFG, before we move on with this show. Defense stocks. anything that's related. There's a lot of crypto into that as well. With the war, I don't think we're going to go to war, Jay. I really don't. And if you know something, DM me, let me know so I can get prepared for that. But he brought up a good point when it comes to our stock market, when it comes to metals and defense stocks. I do see a pump in it. I do see some movement in that, Jay. You're right. But when it comes to crypto space, the privacy coin, the privacy protocol movement is crazy right now, guys. These particular coins and tokens are outperforming a lot of the alts. So when it comes to that, I do believe that Jay has a point, because you see a lot of Bitcoin whales moving into these privacy protocols. I've been tracking a lot of the whale wallets out of ETH. They're moving into these privacy protocols and buying these coins and tokens. Zcash in Monero, Starknet, ZK Sync. We're going to get into that here in a little bit. But let's keep it moving. We're going to go ahead and move past Solana. Tron 28 cents. It is moving downwards as well. Dogecoin took a really big hit. 15 cents, guys, down 21%. Cardano took a hit as well. All these alts are down, guys, across the board. 21% down within a 7-day period. Hyperliquid almost down to $36. 21% down across the board as well. 5%, 24 hour, 1 hour. The 1 hour reductions, guys, really tell the tale. When it comes to these particular altcoins, when you look in the actual, you zoom into it, 1 hour percentages, pretty dramatic. A lot of selling, and you can see that on the bottom of the screen. A lot of liquidations, guys. A lot of fear in the market, and a lot of it has to do with the contagion effect when it comes to stream finance. Those standard practices, they got to stop that shit. And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Chainlink, $14.60. I think it's a hell of a buy still. 21% down across the board. Bitcoin Cash under $500. Man, it just gets worse. It just keeps getting worse. Stellar, 26 cents, down 17% on the week. Sui had a hack as well, DeFi hack. That was related to the stream finance. We'll get to that in a little bit. Sui chain DeFi ecosystem lost over $200 million. That was the actual residual effect from the stream finance. It's down below $2, down almost 25% across the week. Hedera had a pretty big pump. And we're talking about Age Bar. Had a really big pump. And Jay says, can I post a link here, or do I need some rolls? You can try to post that link if you want, bro. I think you may be able to. Back to Age Bar. Big ETF pump, right? Was decimated, down almost 20%. So if you did buy that ETF, you did use that vehicle, you're like, what the hell happened to my money? This is the way alts move for you newbies. This is the way these alts move. They are very sensitive to the news cycle. AVAX, $15 down 21%. Litecoin ETF, really robust movement, decimated, down below $100, $85 for that. Now, look at the privacy protocols. They are outperforming all of these freaking altcoins. Monero up almost 2% within the bloodbath. I'm sorry. Zcash up almost 24% within a week in the midst of the bloodbath. Guys, what's up with these privacy coins and tokens? We're going to get into that because I think it's very, very interesting. And we'll wrap it up with Chronos down almost 24%. Chronos is going to be a part of that. A lot of ETF baskets going forward. So be sure to be looking for a robust move when it comes to this Crow coin. I don't know about the blockchain. I don't know about the exchange. I know they have a partnership with World Liberty Finance. But I've been looking at some price predictions for Chronos. Barring any usership on the actual chain, because the ecosystem is dead, essentially. TVL is down dramatically with Crow. When the ETFs launched, this thing can aggressively move to $1 real quick, with absolutely no robust movement in TVL. It's just going to be the ETF basket, which is crazy. It's sitting at $4.4 billion market cap. I'm going to be watching that because that's going to be interesting to see what happens to Crow. That can be potentially a lot of millionaires made there. So, but not financial advice, but that is the market as its entirety. I'm going to go ahead and hand clap it. It is what it is, right? We got to be happy about it. It is what it is. We'll switch to the actual liquidations market because this is like really, really bad here. $1 billion, guys. Within the past 24 hours, over 290,000 trailers were liquidated. $1.02 billion. Get a load of the largest liquidation. Welcome to the show. Tracy, hope you're doing very well, having a great day. The largest liquidation today was over $40 million, guys. Ridiculous. 47.8. Let's go and say $48 million worth of BTC liquidated on HTX. Holy cow. That was a lot of dough. LMFG, what's your take so far as we move to the report section of the show here?
It's crazy. And again, I always say this, these longs and shorts, I mean, you're gambling like crazy, especially right now. I mean, this is going 100 grand and maybe less. I just checked the tensor charts. It's not, don't look good.
Yeah, close your
I
eyes.
just can't see these liquidations. I just can't see. You got the money, and you know, I would think well, even those large ones, the person probably got $1 billion. You know, he's like, oh yeah, that hurt. Let's go have a coffee. I don't know. It's crazy to me.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. I want to flash over to this Elizabeth Warren post because I think this is pretty interesting. Now, you know, this situation with CZ and Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas is what we like to call her here. This is Elizabeth Warren, guys. Now, CZ has been sparring with her because she really slapped him on the back of the head with some pretty interesting statements, going all the way back to the October 10th situation and going all the way back to his arrest and what he was arrested for. Now, CZ is basically saying this esteemed senator, congresswoman, if you will, is basically lying about what he was convicted of, what he admitted to, all this stuff. So he's threatening to sue her for defamation. She has fired back, LMFG, with receipts, my friend. November the 2nd. Now, this is coming from, this is a law firm, law group, essentially. That was a part of this whole situation back when CZ was actually ousted. Now, here are the receipts. And this is Elizabeth Warren's counsel here, because I think CZ is probably going to go ahead with this defamation lawsuit. And Wintermute may be suing Binance along the way as well. This is crazy. Bitcoin is, by the way, Bitcoin is teetering very close to 100K. GR, you said that's the floor. I think we're going to breach that floor, bro. Let's go ahead and pray we don't breach the 100K floor, because if we do, this ship is going to actually tilt to the wrong direction. And the alts, which I would say is going to be a great DCA opportunity for the solidified situations. LMFG, would you agree? I think it's going to be very advantageous.
100%.
I think we're about to see that, brother. I think we're about to see that. We're going to talk about these privacy coins that I think you need to be aware of after this. I want to read this because this is the retort. This is, Senator Elizabeth Warren came out swinging, and she was saying, you know what, CZ, this is exactly what you pled guilty to, and this is public record, guys. I'm not sure why CZ is fighting this. I'm not sure why he's doing what he's doing. He got a pardon. What the hell are you doing, bro? She brought out receipts, bro. Now, I'm going to read a little bit of this. Now, we are counsel to Senator Elizabeth Warren. We are in receipt of your letter to date on the October 28, 2025 regarding our client, Xiaopeng Zhao. Now, please refer all future correspondence to our attention. We have had the opportunity to review your letter and provided the following response. Now, your client asserts that Senator Warren has published a defamatory statement about him. We're talking CZ in an October 23rd, 2025 X post. Specifically, we understand your client to maintain that it is objectively false that he pled guilty to a criminal money laundering charge. Now, in relevant part, Senator Warren post stated that CZ pled guilty to a criminal money laundering charge and was sentenced to prison, which he was. What's going on, Selmo? Welcome to the show. Not surprised at all by the market. I'm in buy mode. DCA, brother. Hell yeah. Not Selmo, 100%, bro. Let's continue with this. This is crazy. Senator Warren's post is true in all respects and therefore cannot be defamatory. Senator Warren accurately represented publicly available information that was widely reported as factual. In LMFG, we lived through this, bro. We saw this. I'm not sure what CZ's counsel is talking about when it comes to the lying about this, because this is public record. But I digress. Let's get into this now. The law firm, Mr. Xiaopeng Zhao, CZ's law, pled guilty to violating and the anti-money laundering law. He also pled guilty to violating that as well. Now, President Trump has just pardoned CZ, guys. This is what's really sparking this feud here and this outrage when it comes to the senators like Warren. All of this is public record and is plainly seen. And this is basically what the senator is saying, Senator Warren. Simply put, any threatened defamation claim would be without merit. We provide further context below. I'm going to read this too, which we trust resolves any misunderstanding about CZ's plea and what he went to jail for. All right, now here's the public record, guys. Now, as your client already knows, on November the 21st, 2023, he entered a plea agreement filed in the United States District Court of the Western District of Washington. It's going to be CR 23-179RAJ. As set out in the actual plea agreement, Mr. Zhao, this is going to be CZ, guys, pled guilty to failure to maintain an effective anti-money laundering, that is AML. If you ever see AML as an acronym, this is what it means: anti-money laundering program. So he pled guilty to failure to maintain an effective AML program as charged in the court. Now, in violation of Title 31, United States Code sections 5318H, 5322B, 5322C, and 5322E. This is on record. Title 18 United States Code section 2 and Title 31 Code of Federal Regulations sections 1022.210. Your client thus pled guilty to a crime with the following elements as summarized in the plea agreement itself. LMFG, she came out with receipts. We have our, take on Elizabeth Warren, but I have to say, man, she swung pretty hard. She brought the receipts. What is CZ doing, LMFG? Why is he doing this? I think he needs to stand down.
Yeah, I have no idea. It makes no sense at all. This is bad advertisement for him.
No shit, bro. I mean, this is crazy. He's basically going to sue her. He needs to tuck his money, bro. Why are you suing her for defamation? This is public record, what you pled for. And he bought his pardon. We already know he bought his pardon, right? And if you did catch this is what Donald Trump said on, it was a recent interview here. I got to find this. This is what he said about it. He doesn't even know CZ. What are you talking about? I don't know this guy. Listen to this.
That. Are you ready? I don't know who he is. I know he got a 4-month sentence or something like that. And I heard it was a Biden witch hunt.
Oh, hold on. This is recently, guys. Now, the interviewer asked him about the CZ pardon. Okay. This is his answer. Now, if this is how you get a pardon, you buy it. The president is saying he doesn't know anything about it, but he flipped the switch. Somebody told him it was a good idea. This is what he's been saying for quite some time. Is this the same thing that's going to happen for P. Diddy, right? Puffy, is he? He doesn't know. We know Trump knows P. Diddy, so he can't say that. But this is what he said about the CZ pardon. It's crazy.
Are you ready? I don't know who he is. I know he got a 4-month sentence or something like that. And I heard it was a Biden witch hunt.
In 2025, his crypto exchange Binance helped facilitate a $2 billion purchase of World Liberty Financial's stablecoin. And then you pardoned CZ. How do you address the appearance of pay for play?
Well, here's the thing. I know nothing about it because I'm too busy doing the other.
But he got a pardon. But he got a pardon.
I can only tell you
this. This is so bad.
My sons are into it. I'm glad they are because it's probably a great industry, crypto. I think it's good. They're running a business. They're not in government.
This is so bad. LMFG, this is so bad, bro. Oh my God. Hey, what you take, bro? I mean, he doesn't know him.
Yeah, I have no clue why he would say that. That doesn't make any sense. He knows of him. Hell, I think CZ's been at Mar-a-Lago.
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Oh my God. This is not good. This is not good. I mean, this is what we're working with. What are you doing, Trump? I don't think he should do any more interviews. I think, I know he has to do the State of the Union. He has to do certain things. But when it comes to sitting in front of Noah or Donna, is that her name? Nora, I think it is. I wouldn't do that anymore. This is bad. People are clipping this. There's so many clips of this. And then you have CZ fighting with Elizabeth Warren, and she brings out huge receipts. He's looking like a moron, right? What are you doing? You're supposed to be a genius. I remember when a lot of people used to tell me, he's a genius, Michael. He would never go to jail. CZ is a Einstein. I don't know, guys. I don't know about that. And he represents a huge entity. I don't see Einstein behavior from this guy at all. But it is what it is. It doesn't take a genius to run a SEC. They're all crooked. Any idiot can run a SEC. I digress. Now. This is crazy. I want to get into this situation too as well. This is something very interesting that I think we need to talk about. Now, U.S. prosecutors, LMFG, I think you probably know about this, but this is something that I think is very something we need to talk about, because this was nearing the time when you had the actual issues with Tornado Cash, the famous mixer, right? Banana Republic says win all season, probably in 2039 is when we're gonna mark your calendars for 2039. I like your name, so I'm gonna go with that. 2039 all season. Let's go. It's bad, bro. It's really that bad. Let's get into this, man. United States prosecutors seek maximum sentence for Samurai Wallet developers. You remember this, LMFG? You remember when these developers, this was, I think, post, or it may have been right in the middle of the Tornado Cash situation before Gary Gensler was pretty much ousted. These particular developers were running a mixer, and they have been, the investigators, the prosecutors, the feds have been investigating these guys since 2018 now. If you think that's bad, there are tons of mixers out there, and this is prior to the Tornado Cash situation, which I think that lead dev is still in the crosshairs. Yeah, that hasn't been absolved. All right, so you can't hide behind code anymore. This is the thing, guys. So with this particular, do you remember this, LMFG, the Samurai Wallet situation here?
Yeah, I remember briefing about it, but I didn't dive into it or anything.
This is very, very ugly, guys. And I have to tell you, 5-year prison sentence. This is their plea. They actually was going to, the U.S. prosecutors are trying to send these guys away for 20 years. Now, prosecutors allege that the developers were mere bystanders, but were instead actively soliciting criminals while earning millions of dollars. Now, they were monitoring their, listen, I have to say this too. If you use a VPN, guys, stop using, especially if you're doing something illegal. Listen, I'm just saying, this is just a word of actual advice. Stop using WhatsApp. Stop using VPNs. In fact, VPNs are going to be actually deemed illegal in 2026. They're going to be banned in the US. So if you're a US user of VPNs, actually they're already on your ass right now. Your IPs are being monitored. Get away from the VPNs, guys. And listen, I'm not trying to help criminals. It's not what I'm saying, because I know a lot of good people who use VPNs. Hopefully you're using them responsibly and you're not doing anything illegal, because they've been monitoring these particular devices, these particular bridges of privacy ever since 2018, guys. 2018. I know, Banana, everybody's using VPNs. Now, I'm not saying all criminals use VPNs, but we know what VPNs are. We know why people use them. They've been monitoring that since 2018. This is what I've researched, and this is what I'm coming up. 2018. So a lot of these mixers, these guys like these Samurai Wallet guys, Tornado Cash guys, there are a lot of crypto mixers and privacy protocols that are illegal that have been using WhatsApp for communication and VPNs. They've been monitoring your ass since 2018, so you are in deep doo-doo. A lot of this is going to start rolling down the hill. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Now let's get into this brief summary of this. Samurai Wallet founder Kenyon Rodriguez and William Longerhand, I think it is, Mr. Hill, are facing this week, and they're going to be facing charges this week after pleading guilty to operating an unlicensed money transmitter. There's that term again, LMFG. This is what the Senate is passing here. Unlicensed money transmitter. You better get ready for this, devs. You better comply if you are running DeFi infrastructures. If you are participating and you are going to be deemed a digital asset service provider, you better get ready for this. You're going to be facing 5 to 20 years if you're not ready for this and if you're not complying. This is the precedence that's being set with these guys. Now, prosecutors have alleged that the defendants actively solicited criminals on dark web forums, with Rodriguez describing their services as money laundering for Bitcoin, unquote, in private messages. Now, they've been monitoring these WhatsApp messages since 2018. I didn't even know WhatsApp was a thing back then. But I digress on that now. The government identifies over $237 million laundered through this particular crypto mixer, according to the filings. LMFG says, I can't VPN to Russia and be called comrade anymore. Oh, man. I've been telling people about VPNs for some years now. They're not safe. They're not what you think. There are backdoors, and if subpoenaed, they have to give away everything. This has been the actualities of VPNs for years. All it takes is a government subpoena.
I'll tell you something with VPN too. If you VPN into Canada, half the time you're in China.
Wow.
That's utilizing McAfee's VPN.
Which is the worst.
How crazy is that?
Yeah, no, which is the worst. Yeah, they all have backdoors. It was never safe the entire time, but you got people on the XI VPN. Use this. This is a great thing. Use VPN. Yeah, good luck. Hopefully you weren't doing anything illegal because you're done. You're toast, especially if you're in this space as a developer and you're running a mixer and you're using WhatsApp like morons. Come on, guys. Come on. All right, let's get it. Oh my God, it's crazy. GR says, if you don't do anything wrong, you've got nothing to worry about. Absolutely, bro. You're right. There's nothing to worry about if you're not. And I would argue, if you're not doing anything wrong, what the hell are you using a VPN for? If you're doing everything legit, why are you using it? You shouldn't need it. Right? That's the way I say it. You shouldn't need a VPN if you're doing things correctly. But I digress from that. The U.S. government seeks a statutory mandatory maximum 5-year sentence under the plea because they're actually won 20 years for these guys. But they dropped a couple of charges. We'll get to that in a little bit. Let's continue now. This is for both the founders. They're going to get 5 years, right? Alleging they deliberately built and marketed a crypto mixing service as a haven for criminals to launder hundreds of millions of dollars in illicit proceeds profusely, mind you. They monitor this for years. This is how the Fed works. They will sit back and watch you for years. And once they file the cases, once the indictments come out, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You're done. Now, in the sentencing memorandum filed Friday, which they're going to be sentenced on the 6th of this week, November the 6th. This was actually filed last Friday. And attorneys of the Office of the Southern District of New York, prosecutors said Kenyon Rodriguez and William Hill repeatedly solicited, encouraged, and invited criminals, unquote, to use their platform to conceal illicit funds. The case is one of the government's most aggressive, which started under Gary Gensler, one of the most aggressive prosecutions of crypto developers to date, and will set a precedence going forward for all mixers. And I'm not going to say privacy protocols because not all privacy protocols have embedded mixers, but I digress from that as well. We'll see. The case is one of the most aggressive, as I actually said already, between 2015 and April 2024. This is when the authorities actually shut down the services. The government identified at least $237 million in criminal proceeds laundered through Samurai Wallet platform. According to the filing, that's a lot, LMFG. That is a lot. Rodriguez and Hill both pleaded guilty in July to conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transmitting business, guys. aka digital asset service provider, aka crypto service provider, aka crypto company. I digress. These funds were involving, and they were derived from criminal activities, admitting that criminals were using Samurai to launder drug trafficking and hacked proceeds. So a lot of hackers use these mixers, to wash their money and movement so it's untraceable. Those days are over. And if you are a hacker and you did use this product, they're coming for you as well. They have all the receipts. Crazy, nasty work, LMFG. Now, in exchange for a plea, prosecutors dropped 3 more serious charges: conspiracy to commit money laundering, conspiracy to commit sanctions violations, and federal licensing violations, each of the first 2 carrying potentially 20 years apiece for the developers. They pleaded to lesser. They dropped these charges, so they're just going to get 5 years max. Now, Rodriguez's sentencing is scheduled for this week. Hills is going to be the following day, so these guys are going to get their sentencing. Check this out. This is the crazy part. And then we'll move on. Prosecutors say the pair actively courted illicit users, calling them not mere bystanders, unquote. Which, what that means is they ratted out everybody that they brought into the platform, and allegedly marketed Samurai for laundering as well. So everybody that they're actually having conversations with on WhatsApp, all right, another privacy protocol chat, and I'm going to put this in quote, encrypted, unquote. I don't even believe in that anymore. This is crazy, guys. WhatsApp was one of the biggest ones that was used by not only these devs, but other devs within a lot of cases that they have coming up as well in 2026. WhatsApp is very popular for criminal activity. So my research has led me to that, which doesn't surprise me. But I have to tell you guys, any and every dev or hacker that interacted with this particular protocol, they know who you are because these guys they're singing like canaries. They're ratting you out, guys, for Happy Meals and cigarettes. LMFG. What is going on? Welcome to the show, Tim Shea. I'm going to stop there. It just gets worse, but I'm going to stop there because I want to get into the stream finance situation. LMFG. Wow. They collected, by the way, over $6.3 million in fees before they were shut down. This is approximately 246.3 BTC worth, roughly $26.9 million. Or either LMFG. Do they deserve this, number one? And you can't hide behind code anymore, bro. This is very significant.
Right. And like I said, I didn't really dive into this. And he was out there on the dark web promoting it as a Bitcoin, getting rid of dirty Bitcoin. Yeah. That's
they have all this, bro.
Yeah, that's ugly for them, man. Ouch.
Bro,
they're getting locked up. And they may this could wind up being that 20 years or something. Can't see Trump pardoning these guys.
Absolutely not. What apparently all he has to do is deny that he knows anything about it. This is crazy. Now, it gets even worse now. This thing goes all the way back to 2018. So can you imagine the cases that are coming up in the next 4 years? There's a lot of devs and individuals that don't even see the indictments coming. I know they're sweating. Bullets. But there's a lot of actual whales and devs and individuals that are using these mixers. You better get your ducks in a line. You better get your lawyers. You better lawyer up because these guys are singing. They're ratting everybody out, right? They've already pled. They've already wrote their statements. It's a done deal. The criminal proceeds traced through this particular Samurai situation originated from darknet markets like Silk Road, Hydra, multiple crypto exchange hacks. I'm not even going to say this word. Let's just say abuse material. Dealing with, you know what I'm talking, SA, right? Material distributed on sites like Silk Road, murder for hire plots and sanctioned entities that originated in Iran, Russia, and North Korea. This is all in the paperwork. Crazy work. All right. This is crazy. Now, we'll stop there because it gets even worse, man. But there's a lot of things I don't even want to say. on YouTube, because this goes, the actual involvement is pretty nasty. And again, a lot of this is when the Congress member saying crypto is used for a lot of illicit activity. Trust me, guys, they were not lying. They weren't making this up. A lot of what I've read, again, I can't even read it out. A lot of the money, I'll just leave it at that. Let's get into the privacy.
A lot more fraud with and money laundering with cash, big time.
No, absolutely. It's privacy token time. Let's go and get into privacy token now. Actually, I want to pull Zcash up before we go here. Now you're looking at Zcash, $397 for this privacy situation, privacy protocol here. Now we're not talking about mixers, right? This is a privacy protocol, guys. Now this thing has ballooned up. Now I'm gonna pull up the all-time low on this one. We're talking $26, guys. Now we're zooming out a year. This thing's all-time low was $26 actually. Okay. Crazy work, right? Because we're looking at almost I think it went up to like $480. I think that's where this thing topped off this year. I think it registered a $470 top off. Okay. Yeah. $477 top off. This was late October, I believe, but early November, essentially. This was from $26 within a year span. LMFG, before we get into these privacy protocol highlights here, because this is the talk of the town. This is what's pumping. These privacy protocols are pumping very hard. All right, I got your top 10 with ratings as well. We're going to get into the top 10. And I want you guys to focus on these. Do your research. These things are going to be the new norm going forward. What's your take on the movement, LMFG, before we get into the new? As we look at it, Zcash, with a year balance from $28 all the way up to $477. This particular coin made millionaires recently. What's your take on this, man? And what's your take on privacy protocols in general?
Yeah, again, the privacy protocols, I can't see it because, again, you're going to get into AML. And Zcash, I never looked at this. He showed it to me, I guess, the other night, and I looked into it. Just a month ago, it was at $127.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was like, what the hell? Like you said, made a lot of people rich, but I don't know. I see zero knowledge being a part of the crypto and the blockchain, but the privacy stuff, I'm not sure. I don't have a full understanding of it, I guess. But I would say it's not a thing that's going to make it through regulations.
Well, I would agree with you on that as well. The Senate has a different take on it as well. They're going to be regulating these protocols heavily, but not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Now, with that being said, Zcash is an OG situation along with Monero. These two are very OG. So if you're early, you go back 2018, 2016, you already know about Monero. The government was all over that ass for some years. They finally got out of the fold there. So Monero is doing pretty good, really good at this point in time, but it's really not on the top 10 that I'm going to give you. Zcash is the number 10. It is very OG-ish, and this is one of those privacy protocols that basically hides your particular transactions, essentially. Gives you a form of anonymity that is what people are looking for. It is what it is. Now, it's not a mixer, but I think these protocols are going to be regulated way more than they've ever been going forward, and I think it's justified. Right? We'll just have to see. We'll look at the stipulations here. Now, as far as number one, it's going to be Starknet with a rating of 117.43. This is going to be your highest rated privacy protocol. Starknet is below $500 million market cap. A lot of these are well over $100 million market caps. I haven't seen one that is a low cap. But this particular situation is going to be moving profusely going into the next 4 years, guys, because they will have regulative factors, which is going to solidify these platforms going into the future, and they're going to be used by institutions. whales are going to be using them as well to hide their particular movements. This is what it is. I'm going to read this brief little excerpt too as well before we get to number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, because one of them really surprised me. Now, cryptocurrency analysis platforms, it's going to be Sentiment has announced their top 10 privacy-focused cryptocurrency projects with the highest developer activity within the last 30 days. Zcash is one of them. We saw this. It's all over X. The list reveals which privacy ecosystems developers are working on most intensively, and with Starknet and ZK Sync maintaining their actual formidable lead. Now, according to the data, Starknet, which the actual ticker is going to be STRK, remains a clear leader in the development field of activity when it comes to privacy protocols, followed by ZK Sync and WorldCoin. I was very shocked to see WorldCoin at the top of this list, top 5 as privacy protocol. Now, here are the actual privacy altcoins that developers are most focused on, and their developer scores are very high. All right, and again, I have Zcash up here, and that's going to be your top 10. Right now, that's going to have a 21.83 rating. Now, that is going to be the lowest rating on the market when it comes to these top 10 privacy protocols. Number 9 is going to be CeeLo. I was really shocked to see CeeLo as well. 26.07 is going to be the rating on that, developer rating. It's going to be your number 9 privacy protocol coin or token that is having robust development. So when it comes to conforming and complying to the actual regulations, these top 10 will have no problems, guys. They're already there. This is why they're top 10. They're already there. They know the language. They're already actually reconfiguring and adjusting, all right, to these particular regulated factors, which is very robust. And I think this is good. This is good. IX, it's going to be RLS is going to be the ticker. That is 31.03 rating on there. They're at number 8. iExec is going to be the number 8. Dash. Have you ever heard of Dash Coin? LMFG.
I did just a little while ago. I think there was a lot of traffic on it or something. Something popped up somewhere, and I didn't dive into it.
No, yeah, these are percolating as well. Dash is number 7 on the list, on the top 10 of privacy protocol tokens that you need to be aware of. 36.97 rating, which is pretty decent as well. Oasis Network. Ticker is going to be ROSE. It's going to be Oasis Network, number 6 with a 37.7 score. Pretty decent as well. And again, guys, these are going to be very easy. These particular platforms, privacy protocols, will be able to be compliant. They're going to be in compliance. These devs are profusely working towards these compliance factors and getting the platforms ready for the robust movement going into the next 5 years. Email owner, he says Dash is very LOD one. Okay, got you. I was shocked, Email, to see Dash on this list. This is another OG situation as well. I used to mine this with my script miners. I used to mine Dash, and used to mine a lot of Zcash too as well. I think Zcash has a dedicated miner too as well. Yeah, Dash is OG, bro. Very, very OG. This is why I'm shocked to see. This is very cool to see the OG coins, privacy protocols. Actually, people are actually showing love, and they're on the front. These devs have been working hard. These are some very loyal dev teams, guys. These are OG freaking privacy protocols. ZK, Dash, very, very OG. Fox token. I've never heard of this one. This gets a pretty decent rating too when it comes to privacy protocol tokens that you need to be aware of. It is number 5. 37.87 rating, developer rating, which means they are very active and very fluid. Fox token, that's another one. NYM is going to be another one, pretty high rating, number 4. All right, we're creeping up into the top 5. Is going to be NYM with a score of 38.13. Here's WorldCoin, which really shocked me, had a pretty robust rating of 43.4. WLD, basically WorldCoin went through a lot. I think they got ousted overseas. There were some investigations into the dev team. They get a pretty high rating, developer rating, guys. So maybe they got everything together. I think what they went through, shook the hornet's nest, and apparently everything is good to go because they got almost a 50 rating when it comes to developer rating, and it is a privacy protocol. This is going to be big going into the next 5 years. ZK Sync is number 2. LMFG, I think you know about that one. We talked about this one before. This is a pretty big one. There's some zero knowledge here involved here as well. I'm liking this one. I'm liking ZK Sync a lot, and StarNet as well. StarkNet, I'm sorry, I know you guys know this. ZK Sync and StarNet top ratings. That's going to be your number 1 and number 2 when it comes to privacy protocols. I want to hand clap this because a lot of these are OG, but these protocols have come a long way. And if you are interested, actually do your research. You're getting some excellent DCA opportunities, and you get some excellent buying opportunities as well, because we are probably going to go south of 100K, and I'm talking Bitcoin, BTC. I believe we're probably going to dip under $100,000 for the Bitcoin price. That's probably going to make Michael Saylor scream to the top of his lungs, but that is going to cause an altcoin shift to the downward trajectory, downward motions, guys. So you're going to see a lot of these top 10 privacy protocol tokens. They're going to dive as well, except I don't see that with Zcash. I think this is lowest is going to go at $389. So your top 3 really shocked me. WorldCoin being NYM, Fox token, Oasis Network. Those are shockers to me. But StarkNet, I'm not really shocked about that. LMFG, what's your take on the list? And we'll round it up with your thoughts on this as we move on. What's your take, bro? Or do you know anything about these? Are you interested? Are you gonna do some research on these?
Yeah, I'll probably start checking it out because, like I said, I've seen some things on some of the projects. Just the chatter on Twitter and stuff, and I haven't dived into them now. It's crazy. Something I missed, I guess.
Well, it wasn't on a lot of people's radar, bro. You know what I'm saying?
ZK Sync is sitting at a nickel.
I know. A lot of these are under $1 billion market cap too, bro. Some are under $500 million market cap. And I have to tell you guys, a lot of these protocols, a lot of these coins, especially the decentralized finance tokens and coins, they're listen, not financial advice, but I'm just going to be real with you. Especially when clarity hits, they're going to be well over $100 billion market caps, because institutions are going to start flooding in. A lot of these are going to be involved in ETF baskets. So these market caps are going to be tremendous. The trajectory is going to explode for a lot of these market caps. So do your research, not financial advice. But I'm just telling you, this is going to be an inevitable situation. A lot of these have been smoldering for years, and they're actually going to be used now, especially these privacy protocols. Look at what's going on with Zcash. Crazy. This thing was at $28 a year ago. Look at it now. This is what's happening. This is how quick these market caps can balloon. They can go bonkers really quick, right? So welcome to the show, Jason. Happy to see you, brother. Jason Pop, he says, thanks for the homework on privacy protocols and market updates. I appreciate you coming, bro. We're about to get into some very nasty stuff here when it comes to the stream finance, because this is nasty, guys. And the actual practice that was involved here caused this huge situation to occur. It wasn't the DeFi protocols. It's the practice of using their own assets as collateral to generate more. This creates an inflated liquidity, right? And it usually collapses over time. This is what you had here. Somebody's going to jail for this. They're already being investigated. They have their own internal investigation, but who cares? I don't trust Stream Finance's internal investigation. I need an external investigation. I need third party here. I don't need you to invite your own law firm into your situation to invest yourself. Am I crazy, LMFG? I need an external investigation.
Absolutely not.
What the hell are they thinking? This has got, oh my God, this is crazy. This is crazy. I can't believe they're even doing this. And they're probably announcing this. Now, this is what happened. Now, Stream Finance, the DeFi protocol, by the way, can we put that ticker up? Let me see if I can find that ticker. I don't even think, let's see if we can find this. Yeah, I don't even want to look at that. I I don't even want to look at that. I don't even want to look at that. In fact, we're going to go ahead and put Bitcoin chart up because I don't want to scare anybody. Because I want you guys to look at this. We're getting really close to 100K. So we're going to put Bitcoin chart up and we're going to go through these details. All right. So Stream Finance, which the synthetic tokens that were involved here were XUSD and XUSD as well, and some other synthetic tokens too as well. And they were pegged to $1, right? These particular synthetic stable coins, and they were used for yield bearing opportunities for the users. Now, Stream Finance, the DeFi protocol, focused on yield bearing strategies and stablecoin issuances, disclosed today that an external fund manager overseeing its assets reported a massive loss to the tune of $93 million. This stemmed from liquidity mismanagements and they're just basically blaming other external entities, but this is not the case. These practices were within, guys. But whoever was involved here is going to be blamed. You're not going to be able to run from this. And this is the contagion factor that I'm talking about. Now, this stemmed from, this is the focal point. This is a catalyst from liquidity mismanagement, not a DeFi protocol issue, guys. DeFi was not the problem. This was liquidity management. It was horribly managed. All right. This is why this is happening to a lot of these protocols. This is not the fault of the product. I want to say that. DeFi is not the problem. Management is the problem. Knuckleheads like this, idiot developers are the problem. Right? Greedy, idiot, bastard developers are the problem. I'm sorry. It is what I'm tired of this. Now, this stemmed from liquidity mismanagement. We're talking Stream Finance, guys, which generated a lot of fake TVL. Essentially, they were using their own assets as collateral to generate more. You're right, Midtown. Government can't stop, especially the code ones, but they can't regulate it. As we've seen with the Samurai Wallet situation, a Tornado Cash situation, it can be regulated. By the way, that lead Tornado Cash dev is still in trouble, by the way, but I digress from that now. This is how they do this to inflate TVL. Now, let's get into, I keep getting off track. This stemmed from liquidity management, all over reliance over recursive loop mechanisms, which they usually use their own particular assets to actually quadruple and overlap their own liquidity, which is dumb as hell. Now, essentially using their own assets to do this. Now, creating inflated liquidity, like I told you, over-bloated TVL, which actually rises fictitiously within short windows, right? Which is unreasonable, right? We'll get to the TVL with this thing and how it ballooned so quickly. And the crazy APYs, ridiculous. Now, in response to this collapse, the platform immediately suspended all deposits. You guys know it's all over X. Withdrawals and transactions, freezing around $160 million in user funds. Crazy work. They've hired law firm Perkins Coie to investigate potential fraud. This is an inside internal investigation, guys. It is what it is. So they're going to be investigating themselves for fraud and mismanagement and are conducting forensic reviews on themselves. LMFG, this is crazy. So they're going to be actually investigating their own selves internally for potential fraud, mismanagement, and the conduction of forensic reviews as well. They're going to investigate themselves, guys. Who in hell would do this? That's like Al Capone investigating himself during the money laundering cases, and eventually they got him for tax evasion. That's like that guy. That's like the mob investigating themselves and finding themselves not guilty of any wrongdoing. This is what's going on with Stream Finance. This is not going to fly, by the way. It's not going to fly. I'm pretty sure they're going to be there's going to be some external investigations, and I'm pretty sure Perkins is going to come out and says they did nothing wrong, guys. Of course, because you're internally investigating yourself. This fallout was immediate, guys. The actual synthetic stablecoin designed to maintain a dollar peg depegged dramatically. It is toast, crashing to a 30-cent value, guys. 70% drop. Now, before partially recovering to around 51 cents, it's still toast. People lost half of their money. Less than half, but more than half, I'm sorry. Now, this depeg triggered panic liquidations across the board. This is why you see the market in disarray. Partially for the reason you have the CZ situation will rent to mute as well. There's going to be a massive class action lawsuit against Binance. That is going to be down the road as well. But this scared the crap out of everybody, and the contagion is real. Now, the DPEG was real too as well. The DPEG triggered paying liquidations, $1 billion worth of liquidations, guys. Exposed vulnerabilities in their model, which they were actually using their own assets as collateral. Idiots, complete morons, right? And this is standard practice across the board. A lot of these protocols, management, not the actual product themselves. The management, this is standard freaking protocol, guys, using the use of their own assets as collateral. Idiots. Now, which relied on rehypothecation. Basically, what that means is reusing collateral across platforms board. This is crazy. LMFG, before we go there, what's your take on the use of, or the reusing of the platform set own assets? And this collateral is bundled across all of the platforms that are conjoined here, because a lot of these platforms are connected. Just to boost TVL and liquidity. This was a recipe for disaster from the get-go, guys. LMFG, this is standard practice. This is kind of shaking the nest here. This is crazy.
Yeah, it's shaking it real ugly. Not good, man. That's all I can say. You know, people are going to be within what's really there.
This is
great.
bad. I think the word contagion, I think that's an understatement, because there's a lot of other, the exposure is crazy because there are 4 other platforms that were actually connected to this, and then they're actually conjoined and their tentacles stretch abroad too as well. This is not good. Now, actually, this is pretty bad. Now, let's continue, man. Here's some bullet points on how bad this is now. The direct financial damage was $93 million lost from the actual potential funding. We're talking stream finance. You guys seen this all over X now, plus an estimated $530 million in fictitious value from over leveraged loops backed by $162 million worth of real collateral. This is crazy. This led to stablecoins, the particular one that was embedded in this situation, to collapse, which froze all users' assets across the board. So everybody's a loser. This TVL was really robust. A lot of people lost a lot of money, man. Now, a lot of people comparing this to FTX, Terra Luna, right? I can actually bring you back to the Rowan bridge hack. You guys remember the Rowan bridge hack? I think that was the worst one. I think that was a 2021, 2022, something like that. 2022, Rowan bridge hack. That was $600 million. That was a hack though. Now, they're comparing this to this, essentially. Here's the broader exposure when it comes to this. Now, independent analysts have traced $200 to $285 million in potential bad debt and contagion risk across interconnected DeFi platforms as such. And here they are. Elure Finance to the tune of $90 million affected. Morpho, $68 million affected. Silo Finance, $28 million. Elixir, which is another one, which backed that particular stablecoin that collapsed within this platform. And there are others too as well that are unnamed. I'm probably going to do a short about that today because you may be using one of these platforms, but they're actually connected, guys. So when I tell you the contagion risk is real, this has just started. The fallout has just started. This actually ensnared Sui Chain's DeFi infrastructure as well. That fallout is to be determined. This is big. This is what's affecting the space, guys, right? Massive liquidations, massive losses, and fear-based trading. This is what you have, along with ETFs that are bleeding crazy ETF outflow. This is basically strangling Bitcoin at this point in time. This is what's producing this trajectory, this downward trajectory. And I believe we're going to hit $99,000 Bitcoin, probably by the end of the day, going into early morning hours. Do we go to 95K? I don't know. It just depends on how robust the ETF outflow is, because that's your floor. Now, as far as altcoins, they're going to crater. It's unfortunate, but they are going to go even lower than what you see them go today. The actual bearish meter is 1. I know you see that, guys. We're flatline when it comes to the actual meter of sentiment. We're flatline. There is no pulse at this point in time. People are running for the hills, even the whales. They're running to privacy protocols You see this is why they're pumping. There's substance there too as well. But we are, if you're DCing, you're loving this. You're swimming with the whales. I mean, you're swimming with the sharks. I'm sorry. Email says 94K. You think it's going to be 94K? Okay. I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Guys, and I'll tell you, if we didn't have ETFs, we would be at probably $59,000 Bitcoin. And I don't want to even think of what the altcoins would be if Bitcoin was at $59,000. We would probably be so low. Alts would be, ETH would probably be 20. I'll go ahead and say 12K, roughly. We'll probably see ETH really close to $1,000 right now. BNB probably back at $200. Solana, $50. XRP, 32 cents is probably where that XRP would be if Bitcoin was at $59,000. Yikes. Now, let's get into this a little bit more. This particular situation, we're talking about the actual exposure here. This basically stems from rehypothecated collateral following through these protocols. Now, rehypothecated collateral. We talked about that earlier, what that means. Now, a lot of what went on with Stream Finance is going to be trickling down through these protocols, guys. And we're talking about negative trajectory for all of these protocols because they're all interconnected and we're using the actual TVL bloating tactics that I described to you earlier. All right. Using their own assets as collateral and moving them across multiple platforms to inflate liquidity. All right, this is a standard practice that they're using. They got caught with their pants down, and it's not good. Someone says, even with the Clarity Act was signed, and now these dumps would still take place. I believe so. I think it's going to cause even more dumps because a lot of these protocols, these devs are going to shut down. They're going to shut the shop down because they're not going to be able to comply with AML, KYC requirements. They're not going to want to register as digital asset providers. They're not going to register as crypto asset companies. They're not going to want to comply with that because they don't want to divulge their actual identity because they're crooks. They are crooks. They're a con man. They've been hiding behind the code for years. And now they're going to have to pull back the curtain. They're not going to do that, guys. They're going to run. They're going to run. And they're already caught. I told you, they're already been the feds have been watching and listening in on what's happened and listening into their VPN discussions and their movements. They're already done. And what's happening with Stream Finance is just bad management, bad liquidity management tactics. You don't use your own assets as collateral. This is so bad. Now, the actual impact was, I don't think it has been registered fully. That is ongoing. Now, users are locked out, guys. Now, if you were affected by this across the board, you're locked out. You already know. Your wife probably already kicked you out. Your grandparents are probably already disowned you because their 401k is probably locked. You're toast. God bless you. With no clear timeline for resolution. So these guys are like, we don't know what's going to happen. We're going to internally investigate ourselves and we'll get back to you with the results. I don't mean to laugh, but this is what's going on. Now, the DePEC has wiped out value for the stablecoin, obviously. Millions of dollars was wiped out due to mismanagement. The early signs kind of feel like a rug for a lot of people, but it was not a rug. This was mismanagement. These were dumbass devs doing dumbass things, criminal things, essentially. These guys will be brought up on charges. They will be prosecuted. I guarantee you that. Now, and this was framed as mismanagement, and I believe so. And from what I got from it, from my research, it was heavy mismanagement. And these idiots knew exactly what they were doing. They were lying to people about TVO because it was overinflated due to these practices. Liquidity was overinflated across the board, and this is affecting Illustrator Finance, it's affecting Solo Finance, it's affecting Suchain DeFi system, it's affecting Morpho, it's affecting a lot of other different protocols that are attached to this. This is a big deal, and we're seeing this outflow. Users are losing everything. Now, I have to tell you, the overall damage is significant. $93 million was a direct hit. The ripple effect is well over $300 million. It is a major trust blow to DeFi. Red flags all over the place. Here are some of the red flags that I want you guys to look for when you're looking into these particular situations. Number one, rapid TVL growth. If you see one of these protocols register from 40 million all the way up to almost $1 billion worth of TVL very quickly, move away. Rapid TVL growth is a great red flag for you to actually look for. It's a great barometer. If you see TVL all of a sudden harpooning upwards, that is a red flag. There is mischievous activities going on within these dev teams. Move away. Do not interact. Do not try to get yield, especially if the yield is over 15%. That is very suspicious right there. Be mindful of that. All right. Be mindful. 2020. Hindsight is 2020. Be mindful. Now, hopefully you guys understand that. Nard Nation says lost everything. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Invested 20K and now I have $50. Damn, bro. Damn. Prayers to you, brother. That's a lot of money. LMFG, $25,000 down to $50. Bro, I think that would make me start smoking again. Oh, God. Oh, God bless you, brother.
That's gotta hurt. Hey, and you're talking about this TVL. I was just trying to do the math. This scene Hoskinson was talking about that because their TVL is like 250 million, but there's over 21.8 billion Cardano staked. And he's just hollering, he's like, stop just staking it, get out there and move that into DeFi, and so 21.8 billion times what, 55 cents it's at?
Yeah, roughly, yeah.
Give me a second here. You're talking almost $12 billion that is sitting there staked on the Cardano network.
Jesus. Well,
if they move that into DeFi, now, you imagine that.
Yeah.
So, you move half of it, you get $6 billion sitting there in TVL.
Jesus. Do you remember when that DAO proposal, that 88 DAO proposal, there was one to burn all that? You remember that? Which is a crazy proposal.
Nope.
Yeah, that was crazy. Looks like a big, huge buy just come in on Bitcoin. Somebody bought a lot of Bitcoin just now. I guarantee you it was Michael Saylor. And the buy was decimated. I just seen a huge buy come in and it was decimated. Oh my God. I gotta tell you, there's another one. So Bitcoin is moving like a shitcoin. I'm sorry. It's moving like a shitcoin. As soon as these large buys come in, the whales are nuking them. The nuclear effect is in effect within Bitcoin. It's crazy work going on within Bitcoin right now. Crazy meme coin movement within Bitcoin. It's crazy. Crazy work here. Now, I'm gonna get some comments. Let's see, someone first says even the Clarity Act wouldn't help this. I do believe that. Nard, I'm sorry, bro. You losing that much, that's crazy. Anna says, Crypto Lounge, I've been in since 2016. This feels like something broke in 1010 and insiders are bailing. I think you're right. I think you're right. Something did break. It's called regulation. The regulation is breaking the norm. It's breaking the normal way of doing things. And the Senate's version is let me tell you guys. It ain't good for a lot of those scam guys. Nard says crypto is a scam. I should have listened. Yeah, it's not the product. It's not the tech. It's these dumbass devs. They're con men, right? And a lot of this KYC is gonna flush them away. The space is gonna shrink a lot. Anna says Saylor only buys the tops. I don't understand that. Now a lot of people are saying, it is what it is. He's got the money. He's getting yield. He's doing great. I don't see how he's gonna do great when this thing drops to 59K. That's going to cause a mass exodus. And a lot of the MicroStrategy's holders are really pissed off with the guy, but it is what it is. I digress from that. Everybody thinks he's a genius. I think he's a con man. He's lost tons of money before, so he's just hedging again. He's all in on Bitcoin. I wouldn't follow that guy. I'm not selling my kidney, as he suggested to Eric Trump, I believe, just recently. But he does buy the top, LMFG. Anon, you're right. Now, Midtown says Dash and Zcash are basically a privacy Bitcoin. Absolutely. They are used for basic transaction protocols like Railgun, ZK Sync, and Zen as well. Yeah, Zen. Are you referring to Zen Crypto? I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong. Etc. SCETC. And now these are real plays. Absolutely. I mentioned like 10 of them, bro. These privacy protocol tokens and coins are real deal plays. This is some real stuff here. Oh, you're talking about Horizon. Okay. I gotta look into that one. Yeah, be sure do your research on those ones that I mentioned earlier, the top 10. These are real players going forward. And you're going to be able to DCA very, very nicely as well. Not financial advice. Do your research, as I say, all the freaking time, guys. Now, he also says, yeah, the privacy and DeFi dApps. Yeah. There, I know there's a lot of dApps within those infrastructures as well. Nar, good take, Midtown. Good take. Nar says, I'm ready to sue every crypto company and every YouTube influencer and Jerome Powell. You know what? I feel you, bro. I feel you. You know, because a lot of these influencers, I mean, they're KOL, and they take a lot of coins and tokens for payment. They don't tell you guys. And they take USDT and USDC as well. And they don't tell you guys. I think they should divulge that. That way, that'll give you a heads up on the advice that you're getting. And I think that's what's going to get them in jail. They're not telling you that they're taking payment for their endorsements. Midtown Horizon. Okay, so I got to look at Horizon. Anon says, I'm still in heavy green, but I really don't like to sell on dumps. I don't either, brother. Are you still holding long-term bags? Yeah. I consolidated Anon into a lot of yield-bearing situations, you know, a legitimate yield-bearing consolidation. I consolidated down. I moved out of a lot of volatile positions, and I'm getting yield, but my long-term bags I'm still holding. I'm DCing as well. I'm in heavy into a utility plays. You know, I love a Linea. I love that L2, and I'm into the tech. I'm heavy into the tech. Any type of infrastructure is going to be facilitating RWAs and tokenized assets. I'm heavy into that as well because that is the future. Yeah, those are my long-termers, bro. Definitely into that. But a lot of my short terms, I've consolidated out of those, and I'm just getting yield now at this point in time. Kind of like on the sidelines with those. Midtown says its base is privacy play. Okay, that's what Horizon is. Balance and BNB's privacy play as well. Okay. LMFG says cryptography and blockchain technology is not a scam. It's people that are making it look like scams. Absolutely. It's mismanagement, guys. It's the dumbass devs that are taking advantage of people who don't understand backends. It's not your fault. But the devs, they know what the hell they're doing. Using their own assets as liquidity to just inflate TVL and liquidity and make it look really good and enticing to bring you guys in. Those devs need to go to jail because it's fictitious. It's very fictitious activities. Now let's get back to this because it just gets worse. Now, here's the actual fallout when it comes to this particular stream finance situation. And how will it affect DeFi? This is what we're going to get into. Now, the contagion risk. Let's get into this. So with $285 million exposed, we could see forced liquidations, which we've already seen that further depegs across the board with these synthetic tokens that are attached to this ecosystem, or potential runs on link protocols, like I mentioned before. We see that right now. This is ongoing right now. This is why you see the altcoins bleeding. A lot of the altcoins that are bleeding are wrapped up into these decentralized portals that are actually attached to stream finance, like Morpho, like the Sui DeFi ecosystem. Got hit hard. Bitcoin struggling to maintain 100K. Every time the buys come in, they get annihilated because the whales won out. They're moving into these privacy protocols. Now, it's already part of a brutal stretch. Balancer is one of the ones that are affected, guys. Lost $70 to $128 million during this particular exploit. Moonwell, you probably know Moonwell. It's an Oracle. They had Oracle issues to the tune of $100 million. These are the contagion risks that follow the stream finance situation. $116 million. That was a Sui DeFi situation that was affected as well. All this happened within the last 48 hours. By the way, that Sui situation was an actual hack, which is crazy. That was a hack. All within the last 48 hours. Now, total DeFi losses amounts to around $223 million. This is registered within the last 48 hours. Now, this could trigger temporary liquidity crunches across the market. So this particular risk, we've already witnessed this. We're in the front end of this particular contagion. Can you imagine what Bitcoin's going to look like Friday? Can you imagine what these altcoins are going to look like Friday? This is just the tip of the iceberg. So if you are a DCer, you're going to love this. You are going to love the trajectory of this market going forward within this week, because you're going to get some great opportunities. Right now, financial advice. My nose is pointed toward the privacy protocol sector. That's what I'm looking at. Not financial advice, just sharing with you what I'm doing. Now, Anon says, bunch of KOLs claiming they're looking for 98K for a big bounce zone, but will it begin straight down? I don't know how to bounce it. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, your new floor is going to be 95K. What do you think, LMFG? I'm thinking 95K is the new floor pretty soon.
I look at the Tensor charts, and it looks like 98K is it's in. It's coming.
It's priced in, huh? It's baked in the cake, right?
Yeah,
well,
it's there's 320 in there, 168 right now at 98K, and you got nothing up on the way up, 22, and then down low at at 100,600. There's 83 bids in there. But you have 320 bids at 100,000.
God damn! So the sell pressure is real. There's a lot of sell.
Yeah.
That's a lot in that pipe, bro.
Yep, and then when you got, like I said, all the way down to 98 grand. There's 169 bids in there right now.
God.
If that goes to 300, it's going to get there. It's going to get to the 100 for sure with 320 in there.
Well, it's headed there. You can see the trajectory there.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
One that I'm hot on too, that Linea. I was trying to grab some earlier and I blew it off, and now it's even down to almost a penny now.
Yeah, I'm trying to win it. I want another zero. I'm waiting on that other zero because I love Linea. When that thing gets to it, when it creates another zero, I'm in. I'm jumping in, and that's going to be my DCA opportunity. That's just me, guys. So don't follow me on the channel. That's just what I'm doing. I'm just saying it out loud, but this is just my plan for me. I am watching Linea very closely right now, and that zero is coming, and I'm going to pounce on that particular situation. Not financial advice, guys. I have to say that. Boy, this is ugly. I'm looking at this. This is ugly. Holy crap! Look at this. This is within an hour, Bitcoin, guys. Look at that shit. The money flow is crazy. I don't know, guys. LMFG, where are you seeing this?
Yeah, it's nuts. It is what it is. I mean, can you imagine New York City tonight? I mean, I'm sure everybody's looking at their phones right now because you got the Ripple Swell conference and you got the Chainlink SmartCon conference going on both today and tomorrow. Both of those are happening as we speak.
Yeah.
They're all going to get out there. They was probably ready to go get some steaks, and they're going to go get hot dogs for dinner.
Yeah, there's so much going on, bro. So much going on right now.
I really did expect to see just the opposite, just because of those two conferences today.
Yeah.
And expecting the government to get reopened. I'll figure they'll open it up Wednesday or Thursday once they figure out who got in where with the politicians, because you got Jersey, you got New York, and you got Virginia, real heavy there on those three states with the politics. We'll see.
One thing I gotta tell you, man, I'm looking at the last 24 hours. Bitcoin is trying. It's really struggling. It's trying real hard to maintain this 100K floor, but it's just it's taking some gut blows. I mean, just low blows to the gut right now. And this is well activities ETFs, obviously. There's some big wallets that are selling here. Money flow is crazy.
Right, and you're gonna have that psychological thing when it goes below 100, and it don't look like it's pretty far out.
Yeah, it's a cliff. It's a cliff big time. You can see the trend there. This last trend, right? This is The last couple of hours is nasty work here. So back to the stream finance, because this is the major catalyst of what's going on here now. The loss of confidence is another thing that's going to affect DeFi. Again, this is a mismanagement issue. It was not a protocol issue. It wasn't the product. It wasn't the decentralized applications that did this. It wasn't the tech. This was mismanagement by the above developers, the said developers that are internally investigating themselves, which is laughable. Now, the loss of confidence is something that's really going to hurt this particular space. Now, this highlights the risk of external managers, rehypothecation, right? And infinite liquidity loops, which is what we're talking about. That's the standard practice. They're using their own assets to simulate infinite liquidity. That's going to be outlawed going forward. I guarantee you. It's going to be illegal for them to do that. You're not going to be able to use your own assets as collateral. It should be illegal at this point in time, but honestly, DeFi has never been regulated. This is what happens when you have a deregulated situation. And I know we love DeFi. I know we like this wild, wild west shit, but this is what happens under the fold. This is what happens when you do not have regulation. You have fake numbers, fake TVL, fake liquidity. If it's not regulated, you get flash crashes when all of this falls down. When the loops don't loop anymore, right? When someone comes with a pen and pricks the bubble, this is what happens. The loss of confidence is going to be pretty much widespread, guys. It's not going to be good. Now, expect more users to pull funds from similar high yield setups as well. This is what we're seeing. Slow DeFi growth. This is going to actually slow it, guys. Stablecoin volume is probably going to go down because a lot of these protocols use stablecoins and synthetic variations. Okay. That's going to go down. That's going to erode trust within the yield-bearing stablecoin infrastructures. This is the bad thing about now. Long-term changes, this could accelerate calls for better audits, which we need more audits as well. Not internal audit. Fuck off with your internal audits. We don't want that. We want third-party audits, government-style audits, right? You can fuck off with your internal audits. Don't need it. Don't care about that. Fuck off with your internal investigations. Don't need it. Don't care about that. Jay says one of the insiders of the Trump did all of the oh, you talking about? They said Barron Trump got liquidated today on a long. I think you may be talking about that. That's all over X too. So long term, we need audits. We need risk management tools as well, third party, and insurance protocols. I want to talk to you about that at MFG. Regulators must scrutinize DeFi more. Chain analysis warnings and vulnerabilities to actually expand on that as well. On the flip side, DeFi is going to be okay. Now, as far as insurance protocols, this is what the Senate is talking about. This is what is going to find its way into the Clarity Act. LMFG, insurance protocols. This is going to be a requirement. This is where you're going to see a lot of devs run away. I don't know if any devs are interested in building insurance protocols. I think that's probably going to be a new product going forward. It's probably going to be pretty advantageous for you to do this because it's going to be a requirement within these digital asset providers or protocols like this. DeFi infrastructures. LMFG, this is what's coming. This is what's going to drive a lot of the scum out of the space. They're not going to do this. They're not going to KYC. They're not going to report annually and biannually. They're not going to conform with AML standards. You think these guys are going to actually pay for insurance protocols? In fact, can you imagine how much that would cost for an insurance protocol? I was just going
to say, how much? Where's the liquidity coming from?
Exactly.
You have to have that backed. But again, like you said, it's going to clear it out. And you've heard me say it many times, thousands of the projects. You go Coin Market Cap, you can go page 50, I think. There's so many thousands of projects. Most of them are probably just bogus kids just playing around. But
absolutely,
once they think they're going to be there, they're going to look at it and say, we're out. Like I said, I'd like to know how many of them are applying to the BlackRocks, Fidelities, UBS, actually AIG, and you go on, IBM, and then all your main you know, the Cardano Labs and HBAR Labs and all of those. The developers need to start really thinking and thinking about going to work for some of these people, you know, because those are the ones that are going to be there, and they will want to be the ones that will be able to get the insurance and all that.
Yeah.
The big boys, the blue chips.
Yeah, that is what it is. I gotta tell you, man. You're gonna see a lot of VC movement too, going into the next 5 years, especially with a lot of protocols of this nature, crypto firms and things of that nature. VCs are gonna be so heavy into these projects. It's gonna be so scary to invest, especially for the minnows and for the newcomers. You know, this is why the ETFs are probably better for them. It's a great way to manage. So we'll get those ETF movements. But we're going to end it with that. I don't see any new news that's popping off right now before we get to our giveaway. But we're going to end it with that. Again, this is going to affect DeFi wholeheartedly. In Midtown, a lot of people are losing faith because we have a president that's using crypto to do scammy shit. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hand clap to that comment right there. You had a major announcement too that came out, Vitalik announcement. That was it fell on a lot of happy ears there. It has a lot to do with zero knowledge, and the ZK Sync was actually in this announcement too as well. Actually, the ZK Sync founder announced a new tokenomics there, a model that aims to transfer ZK token from a mere governance tool into an asset that provides real economic utility. So that's good for you ZK token holders. Right, I have a few of those as well. That actually boosted a lot of the revenue too. So it's currently at 30 mil. They only had $640,000 worth of revenue generated last year. Crazy. A lot of room for growth there, but it's gonna be a full governance control. Granted revenue, it's going to be governance control. So that basically a DAO situation there, robust DAO movement. This is what Vitalik wants. He wants more of this on ETH, not meme activity. So he got what he wanted at MFG, and this is what he's doing. This is what he's been doing for quite some time. Moving away from the meme, from the bullshit, and bringing some legitimacy to ETH. And that's pissing off a lot of people, right? We'll just see how that goes. So I'm looking at the member group, and I think I need to put a couple more names on. I think Tim Shea, we need to get you on there, brother. And we're going to do a member giveaway. It looks like I need to put one more too as well. So we do these member giveaways. All you have to do is interact with the member video and comment on, tell me what you like, what you learned from it as well. And we'll get you on this wheel, guys, so you can win. I pick 3 winners every week from the member group, and obviously you have to be a member too to actually access the member only content. And we pull this. We do this every week, guys. So Tim, I'm going to get you on the wheel, and we're going to get 3 winners. JR says the music killed his. Which one was it? I need to change my playlist. I think there's some Halloween stuff on there still. All right, so Tim, we got you on there. Let me refresh this bad boy. And we're going to get this giveaway. So we have the member wheel populated. You guys that did participate with the member video. You're going to get a chance to win some Solana today. We're going to get 3 winners. And I got to double check one more time. Then we're going to close the wheel off, guys. See, we got you on there. Tim says he's ready to rock and roll. Let's see if we can get 3 winners. I think we're good there. We're good there. I got you LMFG on there too as well, bro. Let me make sure. I actually had my name on the wheel, which that is not. I'm not supposed to be on this wheel. Let me make sure I'm not. Okay, we're good.
Some inside trading there.
Yeah, we can't do that. Crypto Lounge can't win the giveaway. That's not how it goes. That's not how we rock around here. So let's go. Looks like LMFG. Tim, he got you, brother. Tim Shea got you. That was a hell of a win, Tim. And Tim, you just got put on the wheel, bro. We just put you on there. So Tim Shea beat you out, LMFG. That was a pretty close one. So we have Tim Shea Crypto. You are the first winner, bro. All I need is that soul wallet, brother. It's been a while since I've seen you on the wheel, man. Let's go. We need 2 more. 2 more and we'll get out of here, guys. I'm gonna call Colleen 960. And I was wrong. It's gonna be Crute 245. It's been a while since I've seen that name too as well. So it's gonna be Crute. I'm probably gonna be pronouncing this wrong, but it's Crute. I think it's Crute 245. You know, I don't get it right all the time, but there's gonna be the second winner. So hand clap to you, sir or ma'am. Let's do it again. Oh, we got some bad news on the snap benefits. Oh man, it's not gonna be good for a lot of people. So it looks like Mac Yank 5999 is gonna be the last one. So this is really cool, really cool. We've got 3 winners that we hadn't seen in a while. So we're gonna get around this up again. Tim Shea, you are the first winner, bro. Congratulations. Crute 245, you are the second winner. Congratulations. And the actual third winner, Mac Yank 5999. These, I haven't seen these guys in a while win, so I want to hand clap for you guys. This is great. Absolutely. Now I gotta report this bad news. Now see, this is something that's crazy. This has been going on in the snap benefits, you know, about the situation with Medicaid. You know, this affects buyership within the markets. It affects retail. It affects our economy, which affects our cryptocurrency space. This is really bad news because we did get the court order for these SNAP benefits and Medicaid, and a lot of these WIC benefits goes to families. 41+ million people that are affected by this. You know, Trump has been all over the place with this. First, he said he's going to get those benefits out. They're going to use USDA funds. Contingency funds, $5 billion. It's a little short of $9 billion. He said they're going to get this done this week, get it out there. Now he's saying a different thing. Taco is back at it. He's changing his tone, and this is not good for the economy, guys. Now, this is what's going on here. Breaking. President Trump says SNAP benefits will only be given when the U.S. government is reopened and not before. Over 40 million Americans rely on SNAP, with $8.2 billion per month in benefits now frozen. Now, this is totally different from what he said a couple of days ago. And this is per Trump. Here it is. I mean, this is from Truth Social. This is not good, guys. This is going to hurt retail. It's going to hurt a lot of people are going to liquidate their 401ks now. A lot of people are going to be, well, for those of you who do still have money in them, a lot of people are going to start liquidating cryptocurrency portfolios as well to help their families. A lot of people that are getting these, guys, this is a lot of people in our country, right? They are not, the government is still shut down. So basically, this is what Donald Trump is saying. SNAP benefits, this is directly from the horse's mouth, which increased by billions and billions of dollars, manyfold, during crooked Joe Biden's disastrous term in office. He didn't have to really go there, but here it is. Due to the fact that they are, or a haphazardly handed situation, this is for previous administration, and basically we're giving out to anyone who is asking for it. This is Donald Trump, as opposed to just those who actually need it, like the elderly and the disabled, right? Which is the purpose of SNAP, unquote. Will be given only when the radical left, here we go, Democrats, open up government, which they can easily do, and not before. Thank you for your attention to this matter. President DJT. LMFG. This is not good, bro. He previously said that they were gonna, give out benefits. States are waiting on it. Now he's retracted and said until they open up the government, there will be no SNAP benefits issued. This puts a lot of pressure on the states, which a lot of states don't have the money. They can't supplement this. This is going to affect not only our space, but stocks. Pretty much all trading across the board, all markets across the board, right? You got people selling gold right now, all right, and silver, precious metals because of this. What's your take? We thought this was going to be handled. It's not going to be handled. The government is probably going to remain closed. We're talking about November and December, one of the biggest retail sectors of this of a year for a lot of retailers and stores. We're going into Thanksgiving and Christmas, a very robust holiday season traditionally. And mind you, Walmart's complete budget, their intake, 25% of that comes from Snap, essentially. So this is going to affect Walmart. This is going to affect Amazon. This is going to affect Targets and your Krogers, all the way down to the mom and pop. This is crazy work. What you take, bro?
Yeah, I have a feeling this has something to do with what Christy Nome said. What was that, yesterday or over the weekend?
Yeah.
They put out a request for all states SNAP, whoever uses it. And like 29 states gave the info, and she said there's over 2 million that should be on there, and 10,000 of them are immigrants that are on the terrorist watch list. Now, how true all that is, or is it that vast? I don't know, but there's still another, 30 states that haven't released that information. Yeah. I believe there's even a lawsuit going against them by a couple of states saying they can't, saying they shouldn't ask for that. Crazy.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's just ugly.
This is ugly. This is very ugly. This is going to affect everything across the board. Whew, man. My Lord. This is peak season for a lot of retailers. And they're not going to be peaking at all. A lot of the retailers are in the red. This is why they call Black Friday Black Friday. It is an opportunity for a lot of retailers to get back in the black.
I worked for the children's place, and we had the Disney stores for those couple of years, and the owner was always said, why we call it black? This is Green Friday. I wasn't allowed to do anything. I had a halt to anything at the stores for 3 weeks until I think the end of January it was. So 3 weeks before, so November 1st, can't touch anything at the stores. No upgrades, no changing computers or anything. Repair only.
Well, this is a sentiment.
And make sure you could swipe that credit card on Black Friday.
This is the sentiment right here. People are pissed because it's affecting our portfolios, man. Oh man. This is beyond politics, is what this poster said. It's beyond people's survival. 40 million Americans can't wait for reopening. They need food now. Stanley Druckenmiller says this could mark a major policy turning point. I know he wants to kill filibuster. This is what he says. He wants to kill the filibuster. A lot of Republicans are like, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
No, that would be a bad idea, because it would be flip-flopped every time that there would be so much flip-flopping of laws, it would be off the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Every time it changed from a Republican to a Democrat.
See, my thing is, if this is what really resonated with me, right? When an ordinary citizen sends $150 million to the government just to help pay the military, that resonates with me. That an ordinary private citizen shouldn't be sending that much money to pay military troops. That's when we have a problem. That's when the shit is preferably hitting the fan. When you have an ordinary citizen sending that much money to the president to help pay the troops. We are cooked. We are so cooked. That just happened, right, weeks ago. Now, this is an interesting comment here, and then we'll close the show because I don't want to get too involved into, it's a crypto show. But this does affect our space. The loss of these benefits are going to affect our space dramatically. And not only crypto, but stocks. You're going to see a lot of stocks crashing. We're already crashing in our space, but the 41 million people, those were investors, and these are people who actually partake and patronize retail. And when we go into these fourth quarters, this is a big month for retailers to get back into the black. This is what they call it Black Friday, right? So Amazon is probably really freaking out right now. All right. Walmart executives are screaming at Congress right now. What are you doing? You're killing us. 25% of our revenue comes from Snap. You're killing us. This is what's happening right now. And then you have the president comes out and says, we're not doing anything until you open up the government. Jesus. So that's pretty 25% of Walmart's revenue is gone. Poof. Billions of dollars gone. Can you imagine what these fourth quarter revenue reports are going to look like in 2026? Not good. Now, this is Stanley Druckenmiller said, this could mark a major policy turning point. When a government shutdown starts affecting essential programs like SNAP, Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program is what that stands for. It's no longer just politics. It's a direct hit to real economy in everyday lives. Real economy is the term. Real economy. This is a harpoon to the side of our economy right now. And it's unfortunate that the SNAP program is a big player in retail. This money is funneled into retail every year. It is what it is. 25% of Walmart's revenue. Crazy work. Now, in the short term, consumer spending is likely to take a noticeable dip. And in the long run, the trust costs would be even bigger and higher. He's right. The market shouldn't overlook this kind of social variables. Exactly. This is why I'm talking about this. This is going to affect markets, man. I'm going to get off of this because it's very bearish. LMFG, your parting takes on this kind of threw me off. This is bad. What's your take on Bitcoin as we, let me pull it back up because we did get some buys. Let me pull this back up just to show that. What's your take on this LMFG when it comes to Bitcoin and when it comes to what's going on here, my brother, and your parting takes on where we go from now until Friday?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. And remember, the Democrats can just go in and within minutes flip this over. As of tomorrow, Trump will be known as, the longest shutdown in history.
Yeah,
under
absolutely.
his presidency. So that can give them a little bit. They're going to say, well, we just had to throw the towel in because Trump's not letting people get snapped. And I don't know. I still just... I'm seeing that Tenzer chart. Everybody, they're going to 98,000, and here it comes, start coming back up. Would Saylor wake up? What's going on, right?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Michael Saylor's
at least $100 million that just went in within minutes here. It's like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, this is right here. This is where it is right here. Yeah, but you see how quickly these buys are annihilated? The last two big buys were just decimated. Yeah. These two green bars right here, these are the last two big buys, right?
Yep.
This is about 2 hours ago. Look at what happened after these two green buys. These are very decent. This is like $10 million buy right here. Decimated. Completely decimated. So this is what happened. I'm talking about this little general area right here. These two buys were annihilated. And then you had this buy right here. This poor guy, I'm going to buy this dip. Hell yeah, 100K. He's being decimated. That was a $5.2 million buy. He's probably thinking, what the hell did I do? Now, these are probably ETF movement here. But I got to tell you, it is what it is. Guys, be careful. Tread lightly. There is blood in the water. And I don't know if you're on your Warren Buffett thing. Honestly, Warren Buffett is in cash. He's holding one of the largest cash piles ever in history right now. And I think he's only bought one stock. I think United, I think it is. But you have to be mindful of what's going on in this space. Midtown says I opened a long on Zcash at $388. Okay. I see what you're doing. Just be mindful. If you are in the altcoin market, just be careful. All right, be careful. There are a lot of sharks. And this thing is going down to 98K. This is what the metrics are saying. I think it's going down to 95K, but just be mindful of what's going on, guys. And we'll see you on the next show. Take it easy.
Take care, everybody.